Tomorrow's the big day in New Jersey. The 2026 FIFA World Cup final between Argentina and Spain will be played, but not gonna lie, today the third place match is giving us something to talk about. England, France, England walking away with the 6-4 win. Gentlemen, the highest scoring third place game in World Cup history. Welcome to Bet365 for the win. A beautiful home for the beautiful game. Andy Petrillo, Garrett Wheeler, Jordan Wilson with you. Yes, shock and awe with that third place game. Let's talk about that. By the way, we're going to look ahead because 2026 may not be over, but we're going to look to 2030 and we're going to talk about who we believe are locks for the Canadian roster. Yes, that's how far we're going to look ahead. But before we even get into the third place game, let's talk about this final. So as we know, Argentina, they are the reigning champions. They won it in 2022. The last time before that, 1986. Spain, they've made only one other final. That was 2010. And pretty good. They're batting at 100 here because they won in 2010. Is this the dream matchup for you here, Wheels, when you just look at these two teams right now?
Well, it's the first time that a European champion has ever taken on a Copa America winner in a World Cup final. So this is historic in a way. Of course, the emergence of Lamine Yamal as potentially the face of the game, I think in a lot of people's eyes, could very well be just that for the next decade, taking on the outgoing player who's really been in the spotlight above and beyond everyone else in Lionel Messi. I think it has a lot of attributes that make this game a must watch, and where there are plenty of storylines to kind of dig into. I think stylistically, it might not be the best game that we could see in this World Cup. I mean, we've seen Spain when they play bigger and better competitions, kill off the game at times. Argentina, until they went behind against England, were dead set on doing the same thing. So it all just depends. I mean, where the game's being played at in New York, outside, bad air quality. If it slows down the game and makes it a little bit more stop-start than we'd like to see, then maybe it won't be the kind of the best possible matchup. But on paper, I think the argument can easily be made, Andy, that these are the two best teams at this World Cup, and they're deserving of their places in the final.
I think also the football gods wanted it that way. Like if you're thinking about Spain, a younger team that hasn't been there since 2010, and you're looking at the players that they have in their squad as well, the fact that, you know, for years to come, they'll probably be playing for their country and being at other World Cups. But then you have a country in Argentina that just feels like their destiny, right? Like obviously France were a favorite and England, but Argentina and Spain, for many people, they felt like this was going to be the collision course. This was going to be the time that they met, was in that final, because they're just two strong nations, two strong teams. So in one way, if you're just a neutral, there's something to love regardless about this match, right? Whether it's Lamine Yamal and Spain and how they've played and the unbeaten record, or if you're Lionel Messi, right, to go to back-to-back, like the storylines are there, and that's what we want. But I just think I really just have a feeling that Spain is going to do some damage tomorrow. I really do. When I say damage, meaning win the game, not like win 3-0. But I think they'll take care of Argentina.
I was chatting with some people during the third place game here today. Just what game, if it was for a World Cup final, that you would prefer to see? Would you have preferred to watch France plays a much more open style with the four players in attack who are out of this world against England? Aside that, when they don't have the handbrake fully pulled up, thank you very much, Thomas Tuchel, have players that are really good at getting out in transition, a lot of pace, a lot of legs in that team as well, versus two teams that maybe play a different style. So although Spain have only conceded one goal, they just don't have some of the flashy, like top players that they had in the past, especially when they won in 2010. Even at that tournament, I don't think they played great football, but they had great players and a great mentality. Kind of feel similar with this Argentina team. They've arguably the greatest player of all time and a really good team around him that just really plays for that star player. But are they an entirely perfect, great, watchable team all the time? I'm not quite sure about that. Maybe it'll make for a great final. Like I said, Andy, there's enough storylines to like feast on for days, but how the actual game will play out, I'm a little bit more on the fence about that one, about what it may actually look like.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting because Argentina has had some great come from behind wins, but we also know that Spain has just conceded once. I mean, this is a team who can really smother you as well and shut you down defensively. It's going to be a game of chess. And speaking of those big names, even from 2010, the amount of players you could name on that. And we keep talking about Lamine Yamal because he is the main face of Spain. 1 goal. It's actually Mikel Oyarzabal who's leading the team with 5 goals, which is pretty interesting here. By the way, Kylian Mbappe in that 3rd place game has now overtaken Messi for the Golden Boot race. Messi's gonna have to score some goals here because he's
no fries.
Yeah, so he's that's right. 10 now. 10 goals, 4 assists for Kylian Mbappe. Messi 8 goals, 4 assists. Tactically, though, Jordan, do you think either like which team has an advantage? Do you think one does here?
Difficult question to answer, but I would say Spain if I had to, just because we've seen a Spain side that's just so relentless. They have the record of the quickest. They're the quickest team to win back the ball out of possession. And I think that's going to bode well, obviously, in a final. I know Wheels mentioned air quality as well, which will be a thing. But they're a team that's younger legs. I think that they honestly want it more. They grind hard. For each other. There's just something about Argentina as well when you look at their team that it doesn't take much for them to get on the board. Like, it takes a glimmer, a little glimpse. Like, if you look at the game against England, for the majority of the match, you're like, okay, well, England might have this under control. But Argentina can just pull something out. They have those difference makers. But what I like about Spain is that they really defend as a unit. They're split. They're not just a team that's going to go forward and really try to possess the ball, which they do really well. They are just relentless in how they want to win it back. And I think that in a final, you have to be the team that controls the moment, controls the tempo. Spain are the best to do that. Argentina, the counter, is that they just have those guys as well that can just punch above they can just go to sleep for a little bit and then all of a sudden step up, right? Step up for 2, 5, 10 minutes and take over a game. Spain have to be aware of that, but I do like that they're so dominant in possession and they work together as a team. I think they can actually do it tomorrow because of that and their principles that they possess.
I'm not betting against Argentina. I just can't. It's a fool's game. They're the champions. I love their mentality. Argentina's mentality is what it should be. It's we're going to outscore our opponent. Not necessarily control the game. They win the moment. And they do it all the time with such relentless and just fierce passion and desire to actually win. That's a skill. And this team simply has the nuances, the attributes to just, they just know how to win. And you got to respect that. They've scored 19 goals in this tournament. That's incredible. No team has scored more. I mean, France and England went sideways, but 19 goals coming into this one. They've scored twice in every game World Cup match dating back to their first game of the last World Cup against Saudi Arabia, which is ridiculous. They've conceded in their last 5 games here at the World Cup, but it doesn't matter. They have enough in it to go on and win the game. I just think that they are the one thing that they have that France doesn't have, and I know we're going to get into a little bit more. They are built through strength in the midfield. When Spain beat France, they had Rabiot and Tchouaméni. Rabiot picked up an early caution. Tchouaméni isn't fully fit. And that 2-man midfield was overrun by Spain, by Rodri, by Fabian Ruiz. By the way, Fabian Ruiz, he's played 50 games now for Spain. They've never lost when he's been on the field. Isn't that incredible? Not when he started games. When Fabian Ruiz plays, Spain hasn't lost a game. Just think about that. That is insane. And then Dani Olmo. Like, now when you have Paredes, when you have McAllister, who looks like 10 times better than McAllister that played for Liverpool last year, Enzo Fernandez, like, good balance. There's some grit. There's technique. There's players able to hold on to the ball. I think it's going to be a very different matchup for Spain. They controlled that game against France far too easy. I don't think that there's the outlet here. And by the way, that guy, Lionel Messi, he has a history playing in Spain. He knows the style. He knows these players. He knows the Barcelona way. He understands what Real Madrid play. He understands Spanish football. So I'm not betting against Argentina in this one. Just like Spain, I think we're underappreciated in the build-up to their game against France. I think Argentina are a little bit underestimated going into this World Cup final.
What are some matchups you're keeping an eye on here, Jordan, and you think could be an exciting matchup to watch?
Yeah, I think for a neutral, and I think people loving this game, regardless where you are, you're going to notice the midfield tomorrow. And you're looking at Rodri, for me, that obviously is going to be the staple. I know there are other players for Spain and how they work together and the fluidity that matter, but for me, he's a pillar. Then Enzo Fernandez, if you want a highlight of a ball well struck, and people could talk about oh, should England's keeper have saved it? Regardless, he can produce a big moment, but he is just a box-to-box type of player, and he's just very exciting. And the way that they move. So I think the midfield in general is going to be an area that I'm going to be watching very closely, whether that be McAllister and Paredes in the midfield, those two, and Messi kind of floats and Fernandez kind of comes in as well and helps out sometimes. But you look at this as well with Spain, Rodri was kind of the lone midfielder, the six. And you have Ruiz. Wheels mentioned it. He's been fantastic throughout this tournament. Olmo as well, that can go forward and produce a moment. But these guys play that tiki-taka football. These guys know how to move the ball, but they work so well together. It doesn't matter who's tracking back. They suffocate their opponents. And I think what we're going to see tomorrow is that's what you got to do against Messi. He gets kicked and he doesn't really get flustered. He's been kicked his whole career, right? He kind of goes down and people are kind of searching for him. But Spain, what I like about them is that they just go like a pack of wolves, man. They really just hunt together. So that midfield tomorrow is going to be a huge thing. Rodri leading that midfield. But yeah, I think that's where the game's going to be won or lost.
Interesting. Yeah, the midfield is key. Rodri has been outstanding in this tournament. A few weeks ago, we said he was worthwhile a shout for the golden ball, the player of the tournament. He's the anchor in the midfield, which will drive attacking players crazy considering how many goals have been in this tournament. But Rodri's been the player that's pulled the strings for Spain. And if they go out and win, a lot of the credit will go to his play, the organization, and how he leads from the midfield. And Enzo Fernandez, like that technique on that goal that he scored against England was fantastic. He's also scored the match winner against Egypt as well. He's been really good in this tournament. It seems like he has license to drop deep at times and then push forward at times. I'm interested to see how Spain are going to try to deal with Lionel Messi, because you can't man mark him. You're not going to say Rodri go sit on Lionel Messi. Like we've seen players and teams try to do that before. It never works out because Messi draws too much attention. Then it opens up space for other players. What you need to do is limit his time and space once he gets on the ball. Like that's it. Deny service to the other midfield players. And then when Messi gets it, you can't allow him to turn, run into space. So you always need to take an eye. But does that mean that the center backs need to step up and play a little bit higher? And if they do that, what does that mean? Because Julian Alvarez has got better as this tournament has gone on. I know he was anonymous at times against England, scored a really nice goal against Switzerland as well. Of course, he plays for Atletico Madrid, plays in La Liga. He knows these center backs. Laporte's, he's had a decent enough World Cup, but he's playing in Saudi. I think like he's a step slow, a step off. Kubarsi's just a teenager. Like how that mix between the Spanish midfield, how they try to contain the game, control the game, and contain Messi with the center backs, and what that may open up for Argentina. That for me is going to be a significant storyline here. And whether Argentina and Scaloni maybe try to add a little bit more width to the team, try to challenge Spanish fullbacks that get high, and maybe that opens up a little bit more space for Lionel Messi. So Jordan's right on in terms of his kind of matchup and players that he's keeping an eye on. But I think what happens in behind is going to be very interesting as well.
I think quickly before we move on too, I think Spain learn from the mistake of England, right? Like everyone's like, oh, Messi left foot. He was drifting out to the right because he saw that there was space, but it's fine for me if Messi's getting the ball in the middle of the pitch. Once you get 30 yards away from goal, to your point, Wheels, you cannot allow him to get his head down and to produce a moment because he's walking around. There was stats, 47% of the match that he's walking, just scanning, looking for areas to go and exploit. And his team knows that. They run for him. So if you're Rodri, if you're any player for Spain, it's not about him in the middle of the pitch. He's not going to hurt you there. It's as soon as he gets into your half, you got to get a body on him because it doesn't take much for Messi to produce that magic.
When I look back at our conversation after that Argentina-England game, and all we did was talk about Thomas Tuchel, to me, the interesting matchup is going to be De La Fuente and Scaloni, because your managers have to make the right decisions, the right substitutions, the tactics, the formation, and everything. So I'm really curious to see that matchup, because I have to imagine if you're De La Fuente as well, you're probably looking, and if you're also just, Spain, you're looking at that Argentina-England game and you're saying, Argentina didn't really want to play in the beginning, did they? I mean, there were a lot of fouls, the way they were going after England. And of course, England strikes first. And then it ended up, as there seems to be a consensus, it ended up being some mismanagement by the manager that turned things around here. So if you're also just Spain here, Wheels, are you kind of looking at like Argentina, did they even, Like, what kind of shenanigans are they going to come out with as well in this final, given how they played against England, especially in that first half?
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to pivot to Scaloni because Argentina were terrified by England's speed and pace. And where you looked at where that would be coming from in the Spanish side, it's Lamine Yamal down that right-hand side. So does Tagliafico start at left back for Argentina? And if he does, where does the help come from? And what does that look like? Like if I'm Scaloni in Argentina, I'm looking to make it a no contest in the first half as much as you can. That's the way that Argentina will control the game, by persistent fouling, by killing the play, by stoppages. I think that that's how they manage the game, and then allow Messi and the other stars to take advantage of the moments a little bit later on. De La Fuente doesn't necessarily want that. De La Fuente wants his team to be more reactive. He hopes that Argentina is on the ball a little bit more, where Spain can like really pick their spots to press. And take advantage of the inherent weaknesses across the Argentine back line. That's really where the weaknesses are. Romero and Lisandro Laika Martinez, they're good center backs, but they're not really worried all that much about what's behind them. It's more about what's in front of them. And I think that he knows that. So it's about being able to exploit space. So if they're able to move Argentina around to a certain degree and then play very quickly in transition, I think Spain, it suits their game a little bit more. I just don't think that this is going to be a Spanish side. Like Jordan, you mentioned tiki-taka. Yes, I mean, Spain can play that intricate passing play, but they're just so good without the ball, and they're so good reacting to the game rather than necessarily just staying on the ball. Like they were happy to give France the ball for long stretches during the semifinal, and they just closed off channels, made life difficult. They slowed down the game and kept it when they had to, but they were really good when they picked up the tempo in transition, started to play that way. So both styles are counterintuitive to what the other team wants to do. That's why I questioned like how watchable or how good this game is going to be for the neutral, because it just could be a really slow burn until things maybe open up with a goal in the second half. That's kind of the way I'm looking at things playing out.
It's a chess match. Absolutely, it's a chess match, because I also think too, Argentina has never really pressed. They're in like a low block kind of. They don't sit everyone back, but Messi doesn't press. Alvarez is up there kind of chilling. So what does Spain do? Do you want to keep the ball and get them tired and just move it? Or to your point, Wheels, do you almost want to have Argentina have the ball a little bit more, wait for that moment and try to knock them with the punch? It's going to be, to your point, Trills, Andy, it's going to be very interesting what these managers, what they prioritize tomorrow. Because I still think even though Argentina, you could argue, is better on the ball, Spain is still very, very good at possessing and keeping the ball and honestly killing off teams. But what they've added and what's allowed them to get to this point is the fact that they'll let teams get some confidence. We saw it with France, Olise, top players, Mbappe. As soon as they got the ball, boom, they were on them and they were going the other way quickly because they have the quality to do that. But what do you do with a team that doesn't really press you and center backs that are going to have time? Do you play a bit higher? Do you play a bit more direct? These are the things that I'm looking out for early in the match to see how Spain adjusts and what they're really trying to impose on the game, because they could do both. But what will be their intention tomorrow?
Just want to mention, Andy, really quickly, like it's really fitting that both these managers reside from their respective countries. De La Fuente is Spanish, and Scaloni is Argentine. No foreign manager for the respective countries gone on to win a World Cup. So it's going to hold true that teams that have managers from within their own country are the ones that win. And beyond that, these guys are specialists. Like De La Fuente had like a cup of coffee. He managed, I think it was Alaves for like 3 months. That is the extent of his professional club football head coaching career as a head coach. Scaloni has zero experience. These guys are experts in the international game. That's why their style of play is conducive. We see other managers, Mopo, others, Jesse Marsh, like they're trying to bring their club tactics and style to the international game. And it's always that much more difficult because oftentimes you need to be with those players day in, day out for weeks on end in order to get the players properly drilled to your style of play. These managers don't need that. They're perfect for the international game. They spend time within the youth ranks of their country. I think a country like Canada, we can learn a lot from like coaching development and how that works, because both of these managers, again, you're not hiring like a Mourinho or an Ancelotti or someone that's like a household name in club football. You're grooming within and bringing these managers up within. And look, now they're going to be managing the biggest game, and both of them are excellent at what they do, and arguably the two best at this tournament as well. So here we go again. It's the same story that works. It's a recipe for success each and every World Cup.
That stat, though, too, about the coaches and being of the same nationality of the team, and they're the only ones who have won, is mind-blowing. Let's take a look at a quote. So Emi Martinez, this is Argentina's goalkeeper. This is somebody you want to talk about here, Wheels, because he basically said, if we were to win back-to-back World Cups, this is where I retire. Hopefully his celebration with the trophy will be different this time around. But what say you of him and him saying that?
Well, I don't, he's a big character, so he might just be saying that. Who you never know with Emi Martinez. It looked like he was trying to make his way out of Aston Villa last year, and he came back in. I'm more concerned about what kind of performance we might see from him tomorrow, because I think that unquestionably he is one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. And another superpower that could come into play tomorrow is his ability to save penalties. He's an excellent shot stopper in penalties, and that is Spain's kryptonite. Spain over recent years, although they've been entirely successful in the field, where they've shown weakness is in penalties. And if this one ends up going to penalties with Emi Martinez as the goalkeeper, it absolutely swings into the favor of Argentina. So I think he could play a big role. Of course, in the last World Cup, which is a goal fest, he came up with maybe the moment of the game with the big stop on Kylian Mbappe. But that was one of the highlights of that World Cup final in Qatar. So he's a big game goalkeeper, and I'm going to be I'm not so sure about the flag and the hair. It's very like 1980s. I felt like that's what we were doing back in the day, Andy, like painting the hair, getting something shaved in the side of your head, but whatever, I'll leave him alone. He's an excellent goalkeeper. It could have a big day tomorrow.
Not me.
Maybe he's retirement game.
I don't know what you were doing. That was not me. I just had all the,
like, you know,
well, I had a lot of barrettes and stuff. I had the crazy, little barrettes with the little fishies in them, and it just looked like things were floating. Yes, okay, I did that, but I didn't actually touch my hair in some crazy way. We've seen this in sport, which is pretty cool. Oftentimes there's, a player who goes on to become professional and then says, hey, look, back in the day, I took a photo with someone who's like a legend. But this is just wild that these two are coming together at a World Cup final. The chances of this. So this is 19 years after the fact. Here's Messi when he himself was a teenager and had this photo shoot with the cutest, chubbiest little baby whose cheeks I just want to bite. And that, of course, is Lamine Yamal. So, I mean, you look at this, of course, they talk about the photo is crazy because, Messi's like, I just can't believe it. And now here we are facing each other in a World Cup final. There have been funny photos, like some people that's been going viral heading into this. They keep talking about, the person who's the ruler who doesn't take care of the baby when he should have, and then the baby comes back and takes the rules. So they're showing Harry Potter, right, not being destroyed by Voldemort, and how Harry Potter comes back and destroys him. You got the whole Lion King theme. I mean, there are people being some clever. They're like, yo, they're Messi, maybe you should have taken care of the baby back then. He's gonna come back. He's gonna get you now. But just how crazy is this, right? Because even though France lost, Jordan, there was a little moment there in 2022 where it was kind of like Mbappe came onto the scene. He and Messi trading goals in that final was something special. It was incredible to see. Yamal just has one goal in this tournament, but it really has been a team effort, as we know, by Spain. But do you kind of see this as could possibly be a passing of a torch moment here too, if Yamal ends up having himself a great game?
Yeah, it could be. And I think too, I think this has a bigger context based on this tournament and the people that have probably played their last World Cup, right? You're looking at the Neymars, Cristiano Ronaldo, I would say Lionel Messi. These are guys that for the past 15, 20 years, you revered, you talked about. You're like, it didn't matter whether it was Messi wearing 19 with the long hair or when he wore 10 and it was his show. Like, you were just dialed in, right? It's the same with Cristiano Ronaldo, whether he was wearing 17 or when he got to 7. Like, you watch the journey. It's gonna be the same with Lamine Yamal. Like that's what it is. And we're also the same with Kylian Mbappe. He's already there, but in Holland, I thought Norway this time. That's what happens. You kind of watch these players. So it makes sense that now that Messi is 39 and he bathed Lamine Yamal when he was just a little kid as well, you're looking at this as passing the torch, because that's what it is. Barcelona connection as well. These two players that like love that club and have stepped up in a big way. So it makes sense. The thing is, though, is that what sticks out to me is that Messi is already such an incredible footballer and what he's done is immense. But like, to go and do back to back, there's no passing of the torch. Like, that is difficult to do. Like, there's only a select few. Where Pele? Like, that is different type of gravy. And I get it. People are talking about Egypt and the fact that Argentina, maybe they shouldn't be here and all these things. The fact that he is still at 39 pulling the strings, and for me is the best player at this tournament, you got to just give this guy his flowers, right? Lamine Yamal is a fantastic young winger, and he's going to have a bright future and a great career. But there's one Lionel Messi. We have to just give this guy credit and give him his flowers. And if he goes and does the back-to-back tomorrow, yeah, like the debate is over. He is that guy. He is him if he can go and do that and bring Argentina to back-to-back success. Like, that is unheard of, and that's unprecedented.
Yeah, the way that you start writing that Lionel Messi story, if you're Lamine Yamal, I mean, you're already doing it at club level for Barcelona, albeit in a very different way. His game is predicated on speed and power and dynamic play. You know how special Messi is for his mind, his ability, just the way that he just controls games. But how you start changing the script is you win a World Cup. That's what it comes down to. And that's why Messi mania is still as prominent as ever, maybe even more so. And it's not because he's playing for Inter Miami. It's because he's running the show, or he has been running the show at this World Cup. Like, kids that have been watching this World Cup, and there's been a lot of them in North America, they're out on the playground, they're out on the fields, and they're Lionel Messi. They're idolizing Lionel Messi still, a 39-year-old player who's not blessed with the physical traits of a Lamine Yamal. But tomorrow, if Yamal steals the show, then you start talking, those kids start being Lamine Yamal on the field a little bit more and a little bit quicker. If he can do this as the best player on Spain at 19 years of age, I mean, that is historic category. That is something that Lionel Messi was unable to do as a 19, 20-year-old with Argentina. And sometimes it's not just on the player, it's on the team around them. But it's very rare for a 19-year-old to be the best player on his team and then go on and win the World Cup. That's the territory that Yamal is in going into this game. So quickly, he's already become an icon. Like, Spain win Euros, his career has gone like this. Add a World Cup to it, look out. Like, honestly, look out. Mm-hmm. And as much talent is in that French side, the Spain side is in a position to win over the long haul as well. So, yeah, it could be. I think it's more so, how does that Messi novel, how does that final chapter play out? Lamine Yamal, his book is just beginning, but to me, it's more about how Messi's story ends. And does it end with Lamine Yamal stealing the show, or does it end on a high, that fairy tale ending for Lionel Messi with yet another World Cup win? It's a fantastic storyline either way that it's written. But if you're a Messi fan and a Messi supporter right now, there's only one way that you want to see the story end.
There may be kids wearing the Messi jersey, but I'm telling you right now, I am willing to make a very massive bet that come Halloween, there will be more Erling Haalands than Lionel Messi's. Oh, okay, because everyone wants to wear the blonde wig. Gareth, get ready for it. Get ready for it. Everyone's wearing the blonde wig and the Norwegian kit. Now, just so everyone at home knows this, Wheels insisted, and I'm saying insisted, that this topic be included in the show today.
I did. Nice suggestion box.
Halftime show. I want to talk about the halftime show, is what he said. He's so excited when he heard Madonna, Shakira. Then he texted everyone. He was so happy Justin Bieber got named to that group as well. They're going to be headline the first ever Super Bowl. A very American style halftime show, as we know, guys, here at the World Cup. We're seeing a lot of firsts here at this World Cup. How do you feel about this, Gareth? Do you like this kind of Super Bowl style halftime show?
I am going to surprise people here, I think.
Okay.
I'm oftentimes accused as being old man winter. You guys know that's not true. I'm a fun guy. I like to have a great time. I'm all loud. You guys can vouch for that. I just happen to be opinionated. But for a change, I'm fully supportive of this halftime show. Now, the problem is, I think that it's going to have a knock-on effect on the way that the game is being played. This is the problem. But we've already opened up Pandora's box with the hydration breaks. This World Cup is being played in games that have featured 4 quarters. So now if we add a Super Bowl style halftime show, we've already gone halfway there. We might as well just go all the way. That's how I feel about this. And so if we're going to take a 30-minute break, it's going to give the players much more time to rest, relax. Hopefully they come out with more legs and energy in the second half. But the trade-off is some sensational entertainment. I'm a huge Madonna fan. Madonna's songbook rivals anyone, any band, any artist on the planet.
Wheels, I had this conversation with our dear friend Oliver Platt, and he argued against.
I know.
Thank you.
I remember, and we said, and I hope people in the chat, we can get a poll. We said Rihanna against Madonna, and I was with Ollie. I think Rihanna could actually. No,
I love Rihanna.
She has hits.
I love
Rihanna's great, but it's just Madonna.
I get it. But listen, we're talking about hit for hit. That's all we were saying. I was arguing with Ollie too. I understand. I get it. Madonna back then, 80s, 90s, 2000s, like it doesn't matter what era.
Iconic.
I would love Rihanna in this halftime show too, but we got Shakira, the voice of the World Cup. I'm gonna miss that beautiful voice. I'm just gonna have to listen to the Daya Daya all day going forward. And the Biebs, some CanCon.
What's the song called?
It doesn't get much better than that. So we have sacrificed a lot for this World Cup. The tickets have been expensive. The travel has been arduous. 48-team World Cup. All the political nonsense. The Balogun situation. Infantino mucking around. You know what? I'm going to sit back and enjoy a halftime show. Some free entertainment for you and the world to sit back and enjoy. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. I don't want this to be the norm, but on this occasion, Wheeler is going to be voguing with everyone else.
Oh, wow. Do we get to witness that? Because we're going to be watching the game together. Right after it is the final Bet365 for the win right here on One Soccer. 6:30 p.m. ET will be up after that final, which goes at 3 Eastern. We've got more coming up here on the show. As promised, we're going to look ahead 4 years from now, and Gareth and Jordan are going to tell me who their locks are for that roster. Do locks exist? Are they there? Find out next.
For the Win on One Soccer is presented by Bet365.
The game isn't over yet, but Gary just got paid with Bet365's early payout when his team went up 2 goals. Now, Gary can't stop celebrating. And honestly, we're not even sure he knows how.
Or forever hold this.
Download the Bet365 app and get paid out early when your team goes up 2 goals.
Here. Oh, what a move. That is a quality ball. Now they're running to the box.
We were there for your first game together. The day you taught him the rules and the answer for every question. We've been there for the good times and a few moments we don't talk about. And now,
who won the most Canadian Classics?
it's a passion you can share. And we're just happy we could be there. 20 years, and we're still growing. Together.
For the Win on One Soccer is brought to you by Samsung.
This is Our House, presented by Samsung, has us looking 4 years into the future, the 2030 FIFA World Cup. The Canadians going to the round of 16, accomplishing many firsts here. As we know, first point, first win, first time getting out of the group, first hat trick. Very, very special here for the Canadian men this time around. But I wonder how many of them we're going to see coming back in 4 years' time. So, Jordan, I'm going to begin with you. If you have any roster locks for Canada. Wow.
These are all locked?
You have all these guys?
Locks. 15 to be exact. And look, first of all, I'm not going to say roster locks anymore. I'm going to say Rasta locks. Okay, thank you for that, Andy Petrillo. Because that's how it sounded.
I realized
Rasta
what I was saying, yeah.
locks. These are locks. Look, I get it. Football moves fast. People are talking, oh, you don't know where someone's going to be. Barring everyone's healthy, right? There's no major injury or major fatigue or they don't retire. These 15 names will be there. What are we doing, guys? Like, people are like, oh, we don't know. There's only going to be 5 guys in a 26-man or 23-man roster. Who are we kidding? These players at the age that they're at that I have on this list, and Jonathan David, Marcelo Flores, Promise David, Taniolo Rashidi to start as attackers, they're going to be in their prime at that time. These guys are locks to go and play. Some of them will be their 3rd World Cup and some their 2nd, but they're in the prime of their career. Then I go to the midfield. Saliba, Ishmael Kone, Seager, Wheels. In 4 years' time, we're not going to get people that are just going to come through this program and take these guys' spots, like obliterate everyone. We might.
Why not?
We're going to get maybe a handful. We might get 10, but we're not going to get people that are going to come in and just to keep in mind, too, the people that I've left out are like Osorios, people that we've like every year or for the past
Just 4 years from now, they're going to be old.
No, but Osorio won't be there because he's probably going to be retired. But these guys as well, the Salibas, the Kones, the Segers, the Chauanier. Chauanier is going to be 31. He'll be in his prime still playing.
You don't have Eustachio.
Still grinding. I don't. And the reason why, there's some fringe players based on age. So like Kyle Larin will be 34. Eustachio will be 35. Liam Miller, I would say this would be his 3rd World Cup, but he'd be 30. I just don't know if he's going to be playing at that same level, the same quality. Derek Cornelius at 32. I would put him there. I would like to, but I'd have to put him as a fringe, right? But these players for me, remember, we're going to go back in 4 years' time. I'm probably going to have a little graze in here. All of these 15, maybe 14 out of 15 will be there on the roster. Absolutely. I'll go back to my even defenders. Moise Bombito will be 30. Alphonso Davies will be 29 in the prime of his career. Hopefully the hamstring will be holding up.
Right.
Luke Figueroa will be 24. Alistair Johnson will be 31, and he will definitely be still a guy that does bits in the back. And one guy, Richie Larrea, will be 35 years old, but Richie Larrea will still be fighting everyone on the pitch and still be putting in a shift, but that will be his last World Cup. I feel very good about these 15.
You have a lot of players.
People.
Listen,
pardon?
You have a lot of players on your roster.
15
locks.
quality players that Canada will use for the next 4 years and at the next World Cup.
But I'm shocked you don't have Eustachio. That's the one. I'm just shocked because that guy is like the mastermind in that midfield. The team is so different with him in it. 35 is not that old in 4 years. I mean,
it's not.
Hello, Luka Modric.
I don't think it's old.
Luka Modric.
I don't think it's old. I really don't. But I will say in North America, if you hit 30, everyone's saying you're old, right? And I also think like with injury, sorry, in the football world, we're not talking about you, Chos. You're 30, you're 34. Don't worry about that. Let's not dive into that. But those players like the Larens being 34, Eustachio being 35, you just don't know. 4 years for those players, 4 years is a very long time, and you just don't know what their health and their status will be like.
I did not think that would generate the emotions it did for me. I don't know, Wheels, what does your roster locks look like?
Well, take 5 off the list. 10. Now, just to compare, The Canadian side in 2026 had 13 players from the team that competed in Qatar in 2022. So Jordan went 2 more, went 15. I'm going 3 less because we're talking locks, like locked in. That symbol hanging off that O unlocked, that is a lock. Like Jordan's locking up way too many players, like way too many. And to be honest with you, I settled on 10 just to appease our producer. I was going to say 0. No one's a lock.
What are we doing?
0 locks.
Stop it.
0 locks. But if I was to lock guys up, it would be those 10 right there. And there were 10 players that made your list, Jordan. I'm shocked that you would have Chouanier in the team, a fringe player right now, and not Eustachio if you're going to go there. I have Andy's back on this one. Like, Eustachio's likely going to be there, but I'm only locking in players who are like in their mid to early 20s right now. Anyone that's in their late 20s, 4 years from now, like, players have the tendency to be, fall off a cliff. It just happens, like Roadrunner style, like, woo, like, there we go. We know that happens. So I'm not locking any player in that's going to be in their early to mid 30s. I just can't do it. I'm assuming that he's going to. I almost didn't even lock in Marcelo Flores. He's played 2 games for Canada, but he's played 2 games for Canada. I almost didn't put him on that list. So Johnston's for sure. Bombito's for sure. Defougerol, based upon the way that we project that he's playing and from everything that I've seen, locked it in. No goalkeepers. We're aligned on that, right?
I was about to say no goalkeepers for either of you.
I can't say lock. I would like to. I want to say Goodman, but
this
Goodman
season, his club season was like this, and the older guys can't be locked.
The circus that happened with the keepers and not knowing who's going to be the starting, a lot could happen in the next 4 years. It's very difficult to have a lock. And maybe I was a bit eager, a bit too loose with my 15, but I still stand by it. The reason why, I just want to say as well, if Eustachio's listening, that he would be the first player I put on the game sheet, right? And it's not because of the goal against South Africa. I just don't know what you're going to be doing. I think he'll still be playing.
33. He'll be 33. He's 29 now. He'll be 33 come the World Cup.
Is it?
Yeah, 33. Yeah.
Making this guy older than he is.
He's 29. So the midfielders, I have Kone Saliba for sure. Like, 2 players, like, their stock is rising. The trajectory is there. Davies and David for sure. These are the most elite players. How can you take Buchanan out of the equation? You simply cannot. And Ali Ahmed, based upon the type of player he is and where he's going, that's it. Like, I'm not Nico Segal right now. I think we all really like him, but he came out of the blue, man. He was playing at York University. Now he's playing in Croatia. I need to see I think he's going to be there. He's of the right age, the right profile, but I'm not ready to lock him in yet. Again, he was a role player for this Canadian team. He still needs to improve a lot from where I'm sitting. He's good, but lockable for 2030? Come on, man.
This is what people are doing, right? You're going to go
locking
think that
way too
Canada, even with the talent that Canada has, we are not going to go and be like, we're going to only lock in 7 players and have a whole different 19 players coming for the national team.
10.
That's not happening in 4 years' time. What's going to happen is the players that were just there, you say 10, I say 15, maybe it's probably 12 in the middle. Honestly, it's 16 because of Eustachio. I didn't do my math right. Because if he's 33, then that's a lock. So I get 16 on that for sure.
Oh, 16 now.
But we're not 16. Yeah, we pushed that. We went up. But no, like, honestly, it's not these guys that are going to play 2 World Cups. It's going to be their 3rd. Like, there's a reason for that. You're not going to go and get all these new players and be like, it's not going to happen. This is going to be the core of the team. And that's a good thing. Guys, that's a really good thing to build up.
I am so looking forward to doing this for 4 more years, arguing over this roster and the Rasta locks for 2030. I wonder how many guys playing in this tournament are going to catch the attention of Jesse Marsh. The U20 CONCACAF Championship begins July 26th. Canada will start things off against Panama, also in their group, Honduras and Jamaica. So 4 p.m. Eastern, you can watch that right here on One Soccer. All right, we got to talk about this 3rd place game. It was absolute insanity. Goals, 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 goals. 6-4 was the final. 10 goals scored. England was actually up 4-0 at the half. Jude Bellingham, by the way, that was a beautiful goal that he scored at the end.
For the Win on One Soccer is brought to you by General Mills. For the Win on One Soccer is brought to you by Turkey Farmers of Canada.
In Canada, our future stars don't simply show up on the world stage. They are built from the ground up, right here in the heart of our communities.
Oh, lovely through ball there, Isaiah Johnson! Goal for Halifax!
From a childhood dream to the national team.
Jacob Shuffle, good! Yes! He's done it! Canada, let's hope for the footballing world!
We are Canada, driven by Volkswagen.
And for Canada, BMO.
After 20 years of supporting the game, we're actually going to play in one. Let's go! So what do you need? Precision striker, rock solid left back?
We need a coin.
For the coin toss? Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I get it. Can I at least flip it? Heads or tails? I'll do that. We're on TV right now. Yeah.
Hey neighbor, meet Walmart Plus, the new membership that does delivery differently. I'm talking unlimited free same-day delivery, free shipping, and no order minimum. And it comes with a Crave subscription too. Yeah, it's like a 2-for-1. Try it free for 30 days. Walmart Plus.
For the Win on One Soccer is presented by bet365.
This was a wild game for third place between France and England, guys. As I mentioned, 6-4 was the final. England had the 4-0 lead after the first half. France storms back. England ultimately goes on and wins this. I mean, Wheels, what did you make of this third place game that happened in Miami? Welcome to Miami.
Well, the rest of the footballing world was saying, why do they play a third place game? I am the biggest advocate for third place games. They're the best.
Really?
They're the best. How good was that? Andy, as Canada's Olympic host, like at the Olympic Games, people play for a bronze medal. That's exactly what we saw here today. So I'm an advocate of the NFL. Let's play a third place game. Stanley Cup playoffs. Why don't we have a third place series? Same thing in baseball.
What are you doing?
Tennis. Let's go for it. Third place games.
What's happening?
This guy suddenly, he's like, halftime show at the World Cup and let's do bronze everywhere.
I get it though, Madonna and Shakira. I totally get it.
Yeah,
Beeps. Why?
No
offense, Justin, but yeah.
The goalkeepers were not fans of this game, though.
It was a little bit embarrassing for France because England came out to play a real game or some semblance of a real game. And France just had zero commitment to running, defending, even bothering to show up. And this was Didier Deschamps' final game in charge of France. So we must have been in the room at halftime being like, guys, you can't be doing this to me. It's my last game. And then the way they came out in the second half was like, okay, France decided to show up on a trip to South Beach. And it was entirely enjoyable. It was entirely watchable. I do have some questions, like how Bukayo Saka can go from not playing a few days ago in a semifinal against Argentina to playing and getting a hat trick in the third place game. Like, how is he fit enough to play there, but not in a semifinal? It makes zero sense, Mr. Arsenal fan over there. The Jude Bellingham goal was great. The Kylian Mbappe show in the second half was outstanding. I know people are going to say that those goals shouldn't contribute to a golden boot race. Yes, they should. He's still playing a World Cup game. So now the pressure's on Messi to go in and perform tomorrow. I thought the whole spectacle was great. Might actually turn out to be more watchable in the World Cup final tomorrow. Who knows? Let's hope not, but could be.
I mean, are we getting more goals than 10 in a World Cup final tomorrow? I can bet you that this is a hockey score. Like, it's a hockey score. I couldn't look, guys. All jokes aside, let's be transparent. I'm here trying to set up for my son's birthday tomorrow as well. Blow up pool in the backyard, all this stuff, cutting, just doing everything, right? I'm not trying to say it too loud before the wife hears. I'm not trying to complain. I couldn't leave the screen. I couldn't. Every time I got up, there was a goal. Literally, there was something happening, someone cheering. I was like watching from the kitchen like this. That was riveting. And I'm like, yo, why are we doing third place games? Thomas Tuchel, players have talked about it. Mbappe like was yawning as the match started. Like they were like, it's okay. But once you got into it, once they dipped their toe, once Declan Rice struck that ball and got the party started, I think everyone was saying, regardless if I have a little alcohol in my system or I haven't done everything that I need to do to prepare for this match, I'm going in it. Like let's do it. So this was a top-notch game. This is what I'm going to remember. But Bukayo Saka, I had 4 up. It's not a day.
He's not right, final Thomas Tuchel. It's Thomas Thrukel. He likes third place. Thrukel.
But I don't know.
So England's played.
Okay. Yeah, but this is getting into something different because I'm talking about. Yeah, about.
I know you want to get.
Say he could have played.
I just want to say
no, but he could have played a couple of days ago.
I get it.
He should have.
I get it. But let's not focus on just one player. So England has played in third place matches in recent World Cups, and they have lost them. And they came out to play as the two of you have just highlighted. And even just seeing like Jude Bellingham, like the look on his face too, that solo effort to score that 6th goal was just, I mean, you couldn't help but smile because of how good they felt, given everything, the expectations, the weight on their shoulder, the absolute fallout when they ended up losing. Is this some sort of way of salvaging the World Cup for England here, Wheels? Like you look at it and you go, not only did they win the third place game, 6 goals.
No, it was a good afternoon out. Like it was watchable. It was fun. Did you see the interview? I was watching on the BBC and there was an interview with the assistant manager and he was getting emotional at halftime because like these guys were all devastated. They've come out, they've done us proud. They're putting it on the line. I get why internally, and Jordan being part of teams, the internal accountability and living up to your your job, to your responsibilities of going out and representing. But it just leaves a sour taste because I'm watching England play with pacey players in wide areas, playing on the front foot, playing attacking football, playing brave, and their manager didn't let them do that in the second half in the last game. That's going to stick with everyone. And that is the predominant sentiment. It's like, why couldn't you have at least tried to have played that way in the second half against Argentina? That's it.
So then they shouldn't play a third place game because it makes you think of what could have been.
Yes. No, for sure. But I think you're onto something though, Chills, because I think obviously every tournament, everyone says it's coming home and England has all these hopes, but you look at this squad and the way that Tuchel kind of, like how he managed it to some degree and how he got there was very risky. But I think it's also okay to be like, England is the 3rd best team in the world. Like that is honestly accurate. Like they have a great team. They're also they have some young players that have a bright future. It's a good group. It's a good core. It's okay that you bowed out and you're a little bit better than France, but you're 3rd best. Like that's something to take away from this tournament. It's not easy to go and win a World Cup.
It's how though, Jordan. It's how they went out. It's not that they went out. It's how they went out.
I get it. And you're totally right, Wheels, because when you think about the tournament from England's perspective, you're going to think about not even the whole Argentina match, literally 20 minutes, 25 minutes, like where you just laid an egg. They were men when they started 35. And they were just like fragile boys. Like it was crazy to me to see a team that took the lead to just kind of throw it away that way. But Trills, to your point, being the 3rd best team in the world is not too shabby for England.
And you know what? You always mention that I host the Olympics, and that is the true mentality of an athlete. I once asked a friend who's an Olympian who finished 4th at the Olympics, and I said, you just missed the podium. How did that make you feel? And he looked at me and he said, I'm 4th best in the world in my sport. So it stinks that you got to go, and not play for the ultimate trophy, but you're still playing for something. And England ended up getting that something, and they are 3rd best in the world. Mbappe, though, with his 2 goals, I mean, he could be going home with something, which would be the Golden Boot trophy, because he surpasses Messi in that Golden Boot race. We'll see
heading into
if
the
the
tournament.
Argentine can respond tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, so as we know, Argentina, Spain, they're in the final. We're going to take a look at some futures when we return here on Bet365 for the win on One Soccer.
For the Win on One Soccer is brought to you by General Mills. For the Win on One Soccer is brought to you by Turkey Farmers of Canada.
We were there for your first game together. The day you taught him the rules and the answer for every question. We've been there for the good times and a few moments we don't talk about. And now,
who won the most Canadian Classics?
it's a passion you can share. And we're just happy we could be there. 20 years, and we're still growing. Together.
Hey neighbor, meet Walmart Plus, the new membership that does delivery differently. I'm talking unlimited free same-day delivery, free shipping, and no order minimum. And it comes with a Crave subscription too. Yeah, it's like a 2-for-1. Try it free for 30 days. Walmart Plus.
Canada are really pressing here. Oh, what a move. That is a quality ball. Now the run into the box.
It.
A player Mike bet on just missed an open net tap-in and got subbed off.
I could have scored that in jeans.
Mike doesn't know it yet, but thanks to Bet365's sub-on play-on,
The net was wide open.
his prop bet rolls over to the fresh leg sub coming on. So if the sub scores, Mike still wins.
False alarm, people. My bet's still good.
If your player gets subbed, your bet plays on.
For the Win on One Soccer is brought to you by Samsung.
All right, Reels, take us through your wager.
All right, let's parlay this action. By the way, I like both teams to score. That's my overall play, but that's my three-way parlay. Paredes to commit 2 or more fouls. He only committed 2 against England, but man, it could have been so many more. He plays on the edge, and if he starts, it's going to be a good wager at -120. Lamine Yamal to be fouled at least twice. He's the most significant threat in the Spanish side. And we all know that Argentina are prone to try to foul players out of the game. -315, so not much juice there. But I like Argentina on the spread, +1 full goal. If Spain wins the game by a goal, then that you get your money back for that side of the 3-part wager, +280 if all 3 of those bets come through. I just think it's going to be a close game. I wouldn't even mind a double chance on Argentina, which means a win or a draw.
Okay.
In 90 minutes.
In 90 minutes. Wait, did you say it was going past, Jordan? Did you say this game was going to go past regulation?
Yeah, I said extra time because I truly believe that. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to Spain. I don't think we're going to pens, but Wheels is right. It's going to be a close affair tomorrow. I think Spain scoring first, which is going to be very important. You can't keep Argentina off the board. They're probably going to tie it up. But then I see my Arsenal guy, Marino, maybe scoring with his head, maybe finding a little. It's going the distance, but you mentioned earlier, it's a chess match tomorrow. When you sub, who you sub, it's going to go the distance.
I know. Can't wait. 48 teams, and we're finally going to play the final tomorrow. New Jersey, Argentina, Spain. Remember, we'll be up after the game right here on One Soccer. Gareth Wheeler, Jordan Wilson, and the rest of the One Soccer crew. I'm Manny Petrillo. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.
Rasta la.